The climactic battle with Lyn concluded, only for new mysteries to arise. Then, we were suddenly back where it all began, where we first arrived in Reborn. The difference? I am the champion now. You are awakened by Victoria on the southern edge of Peridot Ward. She says that we've been missing for some time, and goes on to explain what they were told by Anna. We defeated Lyn, only for the real Lyn to still be hiding in the new world. She tells us that the efforts around what has begun to happen since then are based in the Obsidian nightclub. She goes off saying she can't go there right away because paperwork, but is thankful to us and happy to see us again. We will head to the nightclub pretty soon, as there's almost nothing to do other than go flex our newfound champion status to enter the exclusive nightclub. Keyword, almost. Very briefly, go back to the Grand Hall. First of all, talk to this guy near the entrance named Lycos. Lycos was created and named after a Reborn forum user who would wish people happy birthday. His purpose here is also to celebrate. He teaches a custom move called Celebrate. Normally, it only prints a happy message and does nothing else. However, it can be used with Normalium Z to raise all of the user's stats by one stage. This character actually appeared directly after we escaped from the Labrador tournament, but I didn't end up finding out about this again until now. Besides him, there's actually one more thing to look at in the Grand Hall. The thing is, I'm not going to tell you what that place is. You access it by returning to Ame's director room and using her PC again. It opens a second secret entrance. Why am I bringing this up if I'm not going to explain what's in the room? All you need to know is that you can go to the back of this place and get the final catching charm. Now we have maximum critical capture rate. Now put this place out of your heads. For those of you that know what this place is and are wondering why I'm skipping it, I feel that it definitely does not fit in the very beginning of post-game. It will be more thematically appropriate much later down the line. Hopefully that makes sense enough. For now, it's time to begin post-game by heading to Obsidia. You can either walk there or use that strange extra Obsidia fly point that drops you off right in front of the nightclub. Yeah, that's why it's there. Get ready to use that fly point 5 million times. Now, enter the nightclub to find that velvet stanchion that blocked the door removed. Walk inside, and a spotlight illuminates you. Arclight welcomes us, both congratulating us for our conquering the League, something he knew we were destined to do, and thanking us for defeating Meteor. However, after the warm welcome, he then beckons us across the dance floor to talk to him about the state of Reborn. He says that indeed, Meteor has been excised, but Reborn is anything but peaceful. Though we have either locked up or converted any of the remaining grunts and agents, their, or rather Lyn's, ultimate goal was reached. The opening of the new world. Us defeating Lyn caused it to not overtake this one completely, but instead, it is beginning to overlap. What effects has this been causing? Oh, not a whole lot. First thing is this minor notion that the level cap of 100 is gone. The staple max level of Pokemon games is discarded. Pokemon reaching up to level 150 have been cited. This of course means that the progression throughout the game so far will continue. But there are two things to keep in mind. First, good news. Us having all 18 badges still means that any Pokemon will obey us. It doesn't matter if they're above level 100. The second news, which isn't necessarily good or bad, is that the game has created new breakpoints throughout post-game. Whereas Arclight stated that the ultimate level cap is now 150, we are actually going to be stopped at 105 for a little while. A very little while, as you'll learn. However, getting to level 106 and beyond is impossible until you pass certain points in the story. I'll mention them when they happen. But here's the thing. The thing. The new world has made the term legendary and mythical Pokemon more of a suggestion now. All you need to know is Arclight's testimony when he says that 14 Genesect dropped out of the new world into Reborn. There are many more than one of each legendary and mythical Pokemon. You're going to learn what this truly means soon. These powerful Pokemon appearing in these numbers, Arclight goes on, has kept all of Reborn's leaders and other trainers busy. He says that he's hoping we'll join the fray to stop these newly created legendaries, and explains how he converted his nightclub into the base of operations. He also says that there is a lot to check out in this nightclub, and is that right? The most important of them, story-wise, is a dance floor to the right, which was converted into a map of the region to mark where New World anomalies, as they're called, have appeared. That will be for later. For now, let's hit up the people who are here and see what amenities we have available to us. Talk to your Magma Bud Nile here, who says that the vibe here has been good. No trouble for him to throw out. Walk up the stairs to hear a few bits of small talk from Arclight, but then talk to his assistant behind him. This guy is going to be your new best friend. He does one thing. Remixes. Remixes like the one that's playing in the nightclub from Glitch X City? The Sword and Shield boutique theme? No, not like that. I just had to do that segue. By the way, there's going to be a lot of music tracks I'm spotlighting this episode. All from Glitch X City. Back to this guy, what he does is memorizes your Pokemon's moves. Any number of your Pokemon. Simply talk to him and select record, and then pick a Pokemon. Whatever moves that Pokemon has, including its PowerPoint totals, at that very moment will be saved. Then, at any time, with no cost, you can restore any recorded moveset for that Pokemon. Up to 10 movesets can be saved per Pokemon. This is an astoundingly important and powerful tool. No longer will you have to use heart scales to reteach forgotten moves. Just bring them here with their valuable non-TM moves and get them recorded. Then customize till your heart's content. All with the comfort of knowing you can go back to those hard-to-get moves at any time. After this, you can go chat with all the other characters that are here so far. Lumi and Eve greet me happily, wondering how my face looks spotless. So apparently, they were told by somebody that in the final battle with Lyn, I was hit by an explosion near the end and my face was disfigured. Who told them that? Julia. That tracks. She's here too, and can't believe we're here, thinking we're a shadow clone. She then explains that since morale was low with us missing and the New World raining the most powerful Pokemon in existence on us, she had to do something. So she went around to everyone explaining why I'm missing, except that everyone heard a different story. The other two stories we'll hear right now come from Shelly and Cal, the latter of which hearing that we had turned into the moon. That would be rough, buddy. As for Shelly, she actually says she's a little disappointed. She had heard that we had fallen into a Darkrai's nightmare and that she wanted to be the hero to save us. But in any case, she's very happy to have us back. In the top right of the nightclub is the aforementioned anomaly map, but we're not touching that for a little while. There's some preparation to do before we start tackling the New World. That preparation is in the top left of the venue. Arclight mentioned that there are several battle facilities for us to take advantage of. First up, the Mix and Match Station, where you can pick challengers from their available roster to fight in doubles, either by ourselves or with an additionally chosen partner, along with our choice of field effect. This is a cool feature, but it's mostly for fun. Not sure if I will use this, as I didn't use it in my previous file either. There's a lot of other things to do. Like if you head up to the left of this techie, who welcomes you to the Battle Factory. Yep, that's the same format you'd find in Pokemon Emerald. Choose a party of 3 rental Pokemon and battle against trainers with random teams, swapping one of your Pokemon for one of theirs upon defeating them if you want. Next to him is a lady who runs the Battle Pavilion. This would otherwise be known as the Battle Tower from everyone's favorite frontier. Choose 3 of your own Pokemon, barring some restrictions, and fight through more random teams. In both the Pavilion and Factory, if you manage to reach the 5th opponent in a row, that opponent will be a character you've seen in the game previously. outside of the gym leaders and other major characters you'd expect. Also, both of these battle facilities will reward you with battle points, or BP, for victories. You can also turn on random field effects for them, which will increase your BP rewards. What is BP used for? I'm glad you asked, because it's time for the game's ultimate shops. To the left are 3 more clerks who will exchange your BP for some incredible items. You can buy a ludicrous amount of XP candy, heart scales, ability capsules, EV tuners and boosters, PP alls, 10 stacks of glitter balls, sacred ashes, and 1 teeny tiny other Reborn balls. For 9 BP each, you can buy Master Balls. Do I need to explain how important that will be? Actually, I do, but later. The next lady down also sells some items. You know, little things like all of the choice items and focus sashes. But she initially tells you that there is a special offer for an upgrade to your EXP all. If you buy it, then you will be offered another item after. The remote PC. Soon. You'll be mine soon. One final clerk sells you another very helpful list of items. Every nature mint. Yes, for only 1 BP a piece. You can say goodbye to the 7th Street Doctor charging 2 heart scales per nature change. This is the new way to modify natures. So now, it would be time to start acquiring BP to buy a lot of different things here. So do I do the Battle Factory or Pavilion? Neither of those. Because I left one more NPC for last, who offers a different challenge. My personal favorite. Talk to this woman near the mix and match station. This is Casbot. Why is she named that? We'll get back to that. She welcomes us to Theme Team. This is the meat of the nightclub. The best way to earn BP and experience the Reborn field effects and their true horrifying power. Enter into the Theme Team interface, and you'll be presented with a selection of all the major characters that are currently present in the nightclub. Each of them will have a full team of 6 level 100 Pokemon, and will be devised for a specific field effect. But don't think that each trainer is a fight. Each trainer is multiple fights. Every trainer here has at least 2 theme teams, and most have more. The theme teams comprise one of the best parts of postgame, and is something I've been very excited to talk about. These are basically the spirit fights from Victory Road on steroids, and I'm going to talk about each one of them, but with one caveat. You see, there's going to be a lot of these fights. I won't give away the final number, but it is way over 25 battles. That being said, this isn't like Victory Road where I have to cover all 25 spirits in one episode that was already packed to the gills. We can distribute these battles around to the remainder of the series so I can talk about them a bit more. But even so, I can't give full play-by-plays of every single attempt at each team, so here's my compromise. I will do my typical analysis of each fight, covering only the first and last attempts. That is, if I had to throw 10 attempts at a fight, which by the way, yes, the reset counter is on, then you'll only see attempt 1 and attempt 10. Now in this episode specifically, there's actually not going to be a lot of the real story happening due to how I'm planning this out. If I did only the amount of story that I'm planning to do, then this episode will be over in about 15 more minutes. I know, imagine, an episode under an hour. Truly impossible. Since I have to go over so many theme teams, I decided I would front load this otherwise empty episode with a good chunk of the teams, and I'll do the rest in the coming episodes. One thing about these teams, they're based on who's actually in the nightclub. If any of them leave due to story stuff, then you can't battle them until they come back. For that reason, you should make sure to beat all of the available teams before going on in the story, and keep checking back for new teams periodically. No more preamble. It's time to take on the theme teams, starting with Julia. The electric leader has a list of 4 teams to pick from, and though it is last on the list, we're going to start with Kaboom. You'll see why in a minute. Select the theme team, and you'll be ushered into the next room. You'll take your place at an arena floor with your chosen opponent, and find out this is one of those Labrador arenas we saw, where the field changes. It's so good to be back. I told you there'd be more remixes to highlight, and here's another. The Sword and Shield Gym Leader Battle. Every battle that takes place in the nightclub uses this theme, and holy shit, do I love this track. Oh, by the way, welcome to the first theme team. That's a Magirna. Yeah, the theme teams don't wait for you to encounter them in the story. You're going to be seeing everything here. Ultra Beasts, Legendaries, and Mythicals. So you might be wondering why I'm leading with an Aegislash that I've never used so far this series. Well, the reason for it will be apparent in a moment, but first I want to point out something. I just pulled Aegislash out of my PC because it was the first ghost type I found. It was below level 40. Yeah, theme team fights and maybe all of the battles in the nightclub. Pump your Pokemon up to level 100 for free. Or, as it will become, bump them back down to level 100. But anyway, here's what Aegislash is going to do. He's just going to stand there as Magirna uses Explosion. Oh yeah, we're on Glitch Field, which would cause self-destructing moves to have their target's defense. Aegislash doesn't need any particular defense other than the fact that Explosion still can't hit ghost types. Out next is that Ultra Beast that was breaking my arm last episode in the final battle, Celesteela. It also explodes. So does Mew. And Deontay. Oh, excuse me. Mega Deontay. And then there's Landorus. And finally Genesect. So yeah, that's Kaboom. The only joke theme team. When you'd win, as you'd be utterly helpless to avoid if you had a ghost type, Castbot congratulates us, but says that she won't give BP for winning against an opponent that only blew herself up. Yeah, that's fair, but every theme team from now on will give BP, and will put up a serious fight. So let's get back in there and deal with it. So this is more of the crushing experience you're likely to see. Julia's first listed theme team pits you against her in doubles on water surface. Considering she's using electric types and ground doesn't work here, and electric moves are powered up, that's a bit of an issue. She leads with that damn washing Rotom again, and Lantern. Houndoom and Slowbro are up front, though I tell you, Houndoom better use that Choice Scarf to Destiny Bond or he's literally doing nothing. Fortunately, even with the speed reduction, he does go first to Destiny Bond, which gets Lantern to die after striking down Houndoom. Unfortunately, that is where the good times stop. Rotom uses Discharge to immediately kill Slowbro before she could Trick Room. I bring out Vanillix and Mawile against her Alolan Raichu, then get treated to a Focus Sash when Mawile hits it with Sucker Punch. Both of her Pokemon then focus Mawile down, as Vanillix uses Freeze Dry on the Rotom, not killing it, but freezing it. Speaking of freezing, I would have been better suited using Blizzard and freezing the water. Hail, though, takes out the last HP of Raichu, as I bring out Drampa into Electros. A lot of Levitators over there ignoring the water speed loss, who then crush Vanillix with 2 attacks, one of them Rock Slide, which makes Drampa flinch. Yeah, this isn't going my way. Last on my side is Camerupt, and what the fuck is he going to do here? After losing a second time after dumping Camerupt for Galvantula, I start with Houndoom auto-killing Lantern again, while Vanillix uses a Choice Specs to get rid of Rotom immediately. Raichu and Electros appear together and take out Vanillix, but Slowbro is allowed to Trick Room. This time, Mawile's Sucker Punch takes out Raichu since its Focus Sash was busted by Hail. Slowbro goes down after only doing a small amount to the eel with Psychic. Drampa comes out in a much better position against Julia's Vikavolt. Hyper Voice and Play Rough take out Electros, while Vikavolt's Discharge hurts us considerably. Julia's last Pokemon is Zapdos. Yeah, that's a Zapdos. Hey, what's the worry? Drampa takes it down with one Ice Beam, and Playrough finishes off the Vikavolt to award us our first 4 BP. With that BP, we are going to go over to the prize counter and immediately buy the EXP All upgrade. With that, the EXP All gives every non-participating Pokemon in the party more experience than before, and fainted Pokemon will also get experience. Handy. Now, in its place in that prize menu is the remote PC at 14 points. That's so little compared to how much we'll obtain by fighting the theme teams. Let's get back to it. Next up is Julia's Kitchen, which is actually going to be the first time we face a full team of 6 on Murkwater surface. The field from the water treatment plant will be used for more than one Pulse Swalot, starting against another fucking washing machine. A good thing to do when going into these theme teams blind is to use something like Choice Scarf Destiny Bond to just make sure the first opponent is a non-issue. That's what Houndoom does here, as I then go into Vanillix. But that's when we'll discover it wasn't just the washing machine. As the title implies, it's the whole kitchen. Julia now sends Oven Rotom, annoyingly typed well against Vanillix. He gets no chance to attack, and I move over to Slowbro next. She only took a Toxic while setting up Trick Room, except I then idiotically misclicked Psychic when Surf would have utterly killed it. Fire Rotom Volt switches to Julia's next appliance, Refrigerator. I can only fire one Surf before this Rotom kills Slowbro, funnily enough, with Blizzard. And just like that, Murkwater surface is gone again. Mawile goes out there and Ironheads the fridge, but then I discover something annoying about shift mode here. All of her Pokemon are Rotom. So, which one will this be? I switch to Drampa since he has the best coverage, and find out it's the Oven again. He can beat that easily with Dragon Pulse, and I leave him out for the next one. It's Fan Rotom, which is quickly broken down by Ice Beam. After that is normal-ass Rotom, but it also can't survive a boosted Ice Beam. This means, of course, neither can Julia's last, the Lawnmower. One more Ice Beam gives me a first try win and 4 more BP. Now we go against Julia's least favorite thing, responsible workplace practices. If you know the field effects, then seeing Factory shouldn't surprise you. That Thunderous, though, May. That's who leads along with Jolteon. Houndoom gets ready to die. Don't ask me what his friendship level is, I don't want to know. And he takes both a Signal Beam and a Discharge. The killing blow came from the Legendary, so down goes Thunderous, but Vanillix manages to survive and muscle through Paralysis to Blizzard down Jolteon. Did you like that Legendary? How about a Mythical? Zeraora. Next to it is Electivire. Slowbro comes out, as I'm realizing that I don't like using a Water-type Trick Roomer against Electric types. Amazingly, the Clutch Master gets to survive a knockoff that could have hit Slowbro instead, and then goes down to Rock Slide as Trick Room activates. I decide to go for Blizzard with Slowbro as Mawile plays rough with a Mythical. Part of the insane luck from the Pulse Mind Bite comes back as Electivire is frozen and loses its turn, but Mawile's play rough misses the kill on Zeraora by a single point. It gives Slowbro its Plasma Fist to waste her, changing the Short Circuit field to Electric Field, but Hail lands on its head and knocks it out. Drampa goes out, good for resisting Electric, as Magnezone appears. I don't know if Drampa's Flamethrower can kill Magnezone, so I gamble on Electivire staying frozen to gang up on Magnezone. This rewards me greatly. Magnezone never goes, and Electivire is still stuck there. This puts Lantern in front of me next, so I go for Hyper Voice and play rough. Drampa's Hyper Voice actually does the rest of the work for Electivire, and Lantern can't withstand both it and Mawile's attack, leading to another first try and completion of Julia's theme teams. That means it's time to move on to the next character, Shelly. She also possesses 4 theme teams, number 1 being called Stage Fright. What field would this be? Big Top. Shelly, you really know how to frustrate me. A Rabombi up front, huh? Just like in Glass Hell? Yeah, Houndoom didn't need to Destiny Bond, but Heatwave can't kill it through Focus Sash. It's Sticky Webs. Great, now it was purely unavoidable. Then Houndoom misses his second heat wave and dies to Moonblast. Well, Trick Room means Sticky Web is good for me, so I use Slowbro to start the trick, surviving Moonblast easily. One Plink downs Anna the Ribombee, sending out Laura the Lilligant. Well, it surely hates to see Camerupt here like in Laura's fight last time, but once again, it was holding a Focus Sash to survive Overheat. It uses one boosted Petal Dance to knock out my Camel, and I decided if any more Pokemon on her side wants to use Focus Sash, they're going to answer to Vanillux and his Hail. He wastes the Lilligant, giving the floor to Cal the Volcarona. With Camerupt down already, I don't have any rocks to give to that thing, so instead Drampa uses his voice, boosted greatly by the Big Top. Maddeningly, it survives just because. No Focus Sash this time, maybe. Its Bug Buzz is also stronger and deafens Drampa out, dying to Hail. Noel the Vivillon is next, who takes an Iron Head to, guess what? Focus Sash. Mawile takes a Hurricane for puny damage though, and Vivillon is done. Now we face Sarah, the Pheromosa. Oh, okay. Very fitting name for that Pokemon. Good thing we're in Trick Room or else that thing would be ridiculous. But like everything else, it had a Focus Sash to let it survive Play Rough, only for it to miss High Jump Kick and die before the Hail did it in. Finally, Eve the Venomoth comes out to be hit with Psychic, hang on with Focus Sash, and kills Slowbro with Bug Buzz, only for Hail to stop. Thankfully, Mawile can Sucker Punch to put the Moth away. First try win again. It is at this time that I have amassed the BP to buy the remote PC. Give me that. However, don't think that this means we have completely free access to a PC at all times from now on. That's only true as long as we are carrying a cell battery when we want to use it. Every time you turn on the remote PC, it consumes one cell battery. The nice lady gives us 5 of those to start, and from now on, they'll be buyable for more BP. You can bet we'll be replenishing those as we go on. Back to Shelly's theme teams, the next one is Buggy Paddle, which should have clued me into the fact that this would be on water surface. Houndoom's friendship takes another hit as it drags down Shelly's opening Charlotte the Vikavolt, and Slowbro goes out immediately to Trick Room. Golisopod gives its first impression. Ow! Thankfully, Slowbro survived, but after Trick Room, she's taken out by Aqua Jet. But against Vanillux, it uses Liquidation, which doesn't kill the Clutch Master. With 1 HP, he freezes out Golisopod. I'd love to use him against the next Pokemon, Araquanid, but he's probably not slow enough for that. Instead, I use Mawile to play rough, which doesn't kill it, but neither does it kill with Liquidation. I finish it with Iron Head, and next is Pinsir. Shit, I know what that's going to be. Vanillux will definitely be slower than that, so out he goes. Yep, that's Mega Pinsir. Sadly, it knew Quick Attack, so Vanillux never got to Blizzard down the flying bug. Drampa got to Ice Beam it instead, one-shotting it, and out comes Armaldo. Foolishly, I forget that it would be weak to Steel and leave in Drampa. After one Ice Beam that fails to kill, Trick Room ends and leaves Drampa in no man's land. Mawile can't remove the Armaldo with one Sucker Punch, and Camerupt, well, he was doomed from the start. On the next attempt, Houndoom actually attacks it instead with Heat Wave, and despite the name of the Vikavolt, it is one-shot by the Fire move, thankfully flying above the water which would have weakened the move otherwise. Against Golisopod next, I decide not to go back to Slowbro immediately. I bring out Drampa instead, who handles first impression better. The plan? Blizzard to freeze the water surface. The damage from that attack causes the Golisopod to eject, bringing in Araquanid. It does in Drampa, but Slowbro goes out and survives to Trick Room. Unfortunately, she survives a bit too well while doing very little damage, so several Trick Room turns are burned before she faints. I should have put in Vanillux first for the slow spider, because as I predicted, it is slower and nails Vanillux first with Liquidation. But he survives and he dries out the water bug. But that only has Golisopod come back to first impression Vanillux. Need I say it again? Sure, Clutch Master! Freeze Dry destroys another water bug, and now Mega Pinsir returns. Mega Mawile will meet it, with this perfectly typed You really had to miss. Fortunately, one Swords Dance and Quick Attack does not let Pinsir beat Mawile, and he's crushed under the next set of rocks. Heather the Yanmega meets the same fate, but then my Trick Room runs out for that Armaldo again. Mawile surprises me greatly though by surviving liquidation and nearly killing it with Rock Slide. Iron Head, like I said earlier, would have been better, but a Sucker Punch gets me the win. Time for some miscommunication. Oh god, it's Inverse Field. This fight starts the same way as Stage Fright against Rabombi, but Heat Wave would be bad against it. Fortunately, Dark Pulse will take its place this time, but yet again it has a Focus Sash, so it gets to Sticky Web. A second Dark Pulse beats it, bringing in Excelgor. I forget that Dark is not resisted by Bug, and Dark Pulse doesn't kill Excelgor, Houndoom dying to Energy Ball. When I put Slowbro out, Shelly decides to get Sarah in there. Though I Trick Room, I'm poorly matched on Inverse Field against that. A single Surf does almost kill, but its High Jump Kick lands this time and crushes Slowbro. Mawile Sucker Punches it, then stares down Kane the Scolipede. I should have gone for Play Rough there. It normally resists Fairy, as a Sucker Punch doesn't kill it, and its Mega Horn lays out Mawile. I make a dumb play and basically throw away Camerupt, then Scolipede stalls out a Trick Room turn with Protect before dying to Drampa's Voice. Now another new nickname Pokemon arrives. Aya the Beedrill. Do you really think a plain Beedrill will be in a theme team? No way. Of course that's a Mega Beedrill. Drampa's coverage can't hit the Beedrill super effective, but his Hyper Voice almost does the job, and then he survives Poison Jab, but then Trick Room exits. After it then Fell Stingers Drampa for a drastic attack increase and does the same to Vanillux, I've seen enough. Next attempt, I now have Hariyama instead of Camerupt, and after doing the same first turns against Rabombi, I go to Slowbro to trick and survive 2 Sludge Bombs to Psychic it down. Pheromosa can't survive a Sucker Punch from Mawile, and my new addition Hariyama mashes Scolipede. Shelly really loves Focus Sashes. It makes me mad since I should have used Fake Out first anyway. Kane Mega Horns down Hariyama, so Mawile removes the bug with another Sucker Punch. This summons Ninjask, who Mawile Ironheads, only for another Focus Sash to activate. Please! It kills Mawile and drains back half its HP with Leech Life, but it can't survive a Dark Pulse. Unfortunately, the way Speed normally works is back, just in time for Mega Beedrill. This time around though, when I use Drampa's Hyper Voice, the order of attacks makes all the difference. He gets hit first and goes below half HP, activating Berserk, and with it, Hyper Voice now downs the bee in one hit. That's 3 of Shelly's teams down. So far, she's used Big Top and Inverse. So what field do you think computational science isn't so hard will use? Man, you really drive me nuts, Shelly. Now, unlike Julia's Kaboom joke team, we actually have to deal with Glitchfield this time. And she leads with Hardy the Shuckle. Oh god. I try in vain to use Destiny Bond on the Shuckle, but it isn't interested in attacking for a bit. It sets up both Sticky Web and Stealth Rock before barely hurting Houndoom with Hidden Power. Since Houndoom is stuck on Destiny Bond thanks to Choice Scarf, he runs out of them and starts struggling, and barely does anything to the tankiest Pokemon in the game before fainting. Slowbro goes out to Trick Room, but that was dumb because Shuckle is even slower than Slowbro. As such, it decimates Mawile with Natural Gift and survives Hariyama's close combat to kill with 2 Hidden Powers. Don't fuckle with Shuckle. Drampa then finally beats down the damn turtle, and next out is Shedinja. I have Flamethrower on Drampa, so this should be fine, right? Wrong. Fucking wrong. It used a Synthetic Seed to remove all of its types. Now Shedinja cannot be hit by any attack. Even my reset counter said fuck this. Despite how fucking horrible that sounds, I can still beat this Shedinja using Hail from Vanillux. It still only has 1 HP, unlike that fucking Pulse Mime. But Vanillux dies to its Giga Impact in the meantime, and Drampa goes down to the next Araquanid. Attempt 3, I have Mawile up front to hit Hardy with Rock Slide for over half damage, but its natural gift wrecks her again. Slowbro outspeeds with her natural speed to finish it with Surf. To Shelly's Araquanid, I have Talonflame now, but its acrobatics falls short of a kill and Talonflame dies to Scald. A quick Freeze Dry takes it out, and Pheromosa is back. Slowbro goes for Trick Room, barely surviving a lunge, but annoyingly her buffed Psychic doesn't bring down the Ultra Beast either, who then ends Slowbro with Hyper Beam. Shelly then decides to deploy Shedinja, even though it's already hailing. Stranger still, she has it use Swords Dance, only to die immediately to the Ice Fall. Well, whatever, here's her next Pokemon, Ledian. This thing is annoying with all that special defense, which allows it to survive Flamethrower and hit back with Ice Punch, which is powered by that same special defense stat. Again thanks to Glitchfield. We still have Trick Room to finish it off, and it even remains into her last Pokemon, Wormadam. One more Berserked Flamethrower incinerates it, and Shelly's teams are all done. Alright, make some noise for DJ Arclight. Fuck, it's Big Top again! A doubles battle miserably begins against Como-O and Exploud. Houndoom manages to Destiny Bond first and is quickly annihilated by Clangorous Soul Blaze, which also banishes the Gen 7 Pseudo. Though Vanillix clutches his way through that attack, Exploud uses one of Big Top's favorite moves, Boom Burst, to knock the ice cream on the ground. Well, I've got Big Top's other favorite move, Talonflame with Acrobatics, but I spy a better target than Exploud, Pirouette Meloetta. It sucks though, because even though the Mythical easily goes down, Exploud used Blizzard and froze Slowbro to block her Trick Room. I then get presented with another favorite of the circus, and one of my least favorite overall, Primarina. Though I take out the Exploud, its Sparkling Aria easily trounces Talonflame, and Slowbro is still frozen. And then we get Noivern. Yeah, this is over. Everything I try to do afterwards is interrupted. The exact same first turn happens next attempt, me down 2 to Arcs 1. Talonflame stuns the crowd in Meloetta, and this time Blizzard does not freeze Slowbro, who is able to Trick Room. Now this highly hoses Talonflame, who is way outdone in Trick Room by Sparkling Aria again. I only get a Psychic on Exploud, which can't kill, but next turn, a second Psychic takes down the normal type, while Mawile bashes the Primarina once and knocks it out. Then I get Noivern and Volcarona. God, this is the circus team. But fortunately, in Trick Room and thankfully having Hail still up, Blizzard from Slowbro ices the dragon, and Rock Slide flattens the Flame Moth. Every trip to the Big Top leaves me very unhappy. We move on to the next theme team for Arc, which is also not too happy. Soul Sight. Yeah, because of the... Dark Crystal Cavern, and Arc starts with a Starmie. That's something Houndoom doesn't have to kill himself for. Better yet, Dark Pulse is boosted and one-shots the Starfish. Next is an Aegislash though. Dark Pulse, even boosted, only does a third to it, and then it flinches 2 times in a row. I'll always take that. It sneaks in a Shadow though for a little damage. Delmise comes out to give Houndoom another good reason to stay, and better, though he doesn't kill the Anchor, he survives its Power Whip and follows up. 3 down with only Houndoom. Next for some reason is Doublade too, but that one can also Shadow Sneak and Houndoom finally can't go on. However, I start to get very nervous when I go to Talonflame and use Flare Blitz, only to do very little, and it begins Swords Dancing. The second one manages to burn it though, so though Talonflame can't take another action before being hit with Shadow Sneak, Mawile can Sucker Punch the 2 swords down. Out next is Dusclops, which I know is going to be a tanky fucker. Mawile and it trade big shots, but she falls first to 2 Shadow Balls. Vanillix finishes Dusclops off, only to then be presented with its evolution, Dusk Noir. That prompts me to send Drampa out, and the 2 duke it out back and forth. I had several more who could have gotten it, but Drampa pulls through and wins me another first try. Now all aboard! This is the conductor. Man, I'm starting to get really annoyed with Water Surface. The speed loss makes Houndoom unable to act against Alolan Raichu, And even worse, Slowbro is one shot by Thunderbolt before she could Trick Room. I decide to resort to my other speed modifier, Tailwind, which results in Talonflame's defeat too. It doesn't even get Vanillix to go first, so he also takes Thunderbolt, but survives in blizzards to freeze the water. What's good is that though Raichu had a Focus Sash, Vanillix just laughs and Raichu dies to Hail. Then we get a Jolteon who gets 2 stages of speed. Bye, Vanillix. Well, Mawile is the only one hitting it first with Sucker Punch. Oh, that killed! But now I have to face Primarina again. Mawile gets hit with Sparkling Aria. And survives! Ironhead brings it to very little HP, but Hail doesn't kill. Sucker Punch does. With that, Mawile has 2 stages of speed from Icy Field's effect on priority moves. So when she goes for Play Rough, she outspeeds and kills. Holy shit, is this still going? And next is Ampharos? You know what that means. Mega Clash. Too bad about that Dragon type, Arclight. Play Rough one-shots the glorious Pokemon, and all that's left is... Noivern. Oh, fuck you. Right at the end, I'm going to lose to that thing using Boom Burst. Oh my god, she lived! How did I first try that? I lost 3 Pokemon right at the start. Yet I somehow then reverse swept with practically only Mawile. Bonkers fight. Okay, back to the nightclub. And now to nightclub. That's a weird joke. Anyway, Ark's last theme team starts on Short Circuit Field against Alolan Marowak. Once again, Houndoom can try to fight without sacrificing himself, taking out the Ghost type with 1 Dark Pulse. There's going to be a Rotom next, who knows which one, so I put out Mawile. Of course it's the Water type. It's the worst one, so everyone uses it. Including me, but whatever. I give it a Play Rough after it gave me a Hydro Pump, and neither of us fall. But my Sucker Punch takes it out first. But out next is Manectric, and there's no way that's not Mega. So Houndoom is going to Destiny Bond again. Only that Manectric's first Thunderbolt rolls weaker on Short Circuit, so it doesn't kill Houndoom, and he can't use another move because of Choice Scarf. That's sucky. Until Houndoom gets paralyzed, and now goes second, which causes Destiny Bond to still activate. Wow, that was lucky. Now I decide to send out Talonflame, though against probable electric types, he's probably not a good pick. Arclight also sends out a bird. Zapdos. Well, Tailwind, and die. Holy shit, Talonflame survived? Short Circuit really fucks around with the electric damage. I do a sizable amount with a Flare Blitz before Talonflame is shocked the second time, as I send out Vanillix to knock the bird out of the air. Sadly, Tailwind does not let Vanillix go first. Happily, he's the Clutch Master, so he survives Heat Wave to blow away the Zapdos. Ah, crap, here comes a Jolteon again. Let's see if Vanillix can survive the Iron Head! He flinched. Yeah, just deflate me, Arclight. A Sucker Punch from Mawile almost kills, and she doesn't go down to Shadow Ball, but this time Vanillix causes me pain when Hail kills Mawile. Drampa comes out and has to take a maximized Thunderbolt this turn, but he's okay and defeats the Jolteon. 1 left, but Arc kept a mythical for last. Magearna. Shit, Slowbro has to Trick Room if I want to win. Magearna shifted gears first, so Trick Room is on. Slowbro launches 2 powered-up Surfs at the Magearna, bringing it to red before tiring, and that lets Drampa come back and just narrowly end this fight in my victory. Only Arclight's first fight made me retry. Really good streak there. And down goes Cal's Mega Lucario to win on the first try. Fuck, I didn't hit record again. Great, well let's see if we can repeat this. So the next character up is Cal, his first theme team called Across Coals, taking place on Ashen Beach. Houndoom finds himself in a good position again facing Delphox. However, Cal doesn't let Houndoom follow up when it survives the first Dark Pulse. He switches into another starter, Blaziken. I tried muscling through it with Dark Pulses, but it goes first with Vacuum Wave to kill him. Talonflame then came out and took it down with Acrobatics, leading into Keldeo. Yeah, alright, nice mythical, but here's another Acrobatics. Unfortunately, last time I did that, it crit and killed it. This time, I find out I needed that crit. A quick Sucker Punch beats it though, leading into Darmanitan. It actually goes Zen mode, making it more open to Sucker Punch, but it lived to Fire Blast down Mawile. The rest of my team desperately needs Trick Room, so I go to Slowbro, and she dodges the next Fire Blast to use it. Surf's up and Darm's down, but now I have to deal with another mythical. Marshadow. For some reason I switched to Drampa instead of staying with Slowbro to use Psychic. Can't kill with Dragon Pulse, die to Focus Blast, and then use Slowbro like I should have. Sadly, it also threw a Shadow Sneak in there to take 2/3 of Slowbro's HP too. Now comes that Lucario that I already spoiled was Mega, and without Mawile, I'm in a pretty hard spot. I take off 3/4 with Psychic, but Focus Blast hits me again, which is more likely on Ashen Beach at 90% accuracy. I'm down to only the Clutch Master, but that's all I need. Trick Room lasts long enough for him to clean both the Mega and the very first Pokemon in the battle, Delphox. Thank goodness they both had low HP by the time he got there. No way he could beat either of them otherwise. First tried the fight twice in a row. This gave Cal boiling blood, as he challenges me on Dragon's Den now. He leads with Victini. Yeah, we are really running the gamut of all the legendaries and mythicals. Don't worry, it gets way worse. What's very fortunate is the Victory Pokemon flinched from Dark Pulse, letting me take it down. The next Pokemon to arrive is Drampa. Without a Trick Room, that thing would normally be pretty easy to beat. Unfortunately, using Vanillux was a bad idea, as Dragon's Den nerfed his Blizzard and raised Drampa's defenses, letting it survive and respond for a KO. Then I make an extremely bad decision and try to destroy Dragon's Den by hitting Drampa with Surf. It doesn't kill it, Slowbro dies, and I needed to use Surf again to break the field. I use Mawile like I should have from the very start to kill Drampa, and am next faced with Torkoal, just like our very first fight with Cal. Well, I'm not very well suited to fighting it, and worse, my only good move for it, Rock Slide, misses. It Inferno overdrives Mawile. Houndoom comes back and somehow survives a superpower on 3 HP to take it down with 2 Dark Pulses. A Fire EV comes out next, and it gets a lot of special attack buffs. 1 Acrobatics and Talonflame only removes half its HP, and Talonflame faints. Houndoom doesn't kill it either with Dark Pulse, but another flinch bails me out. I still have 2 more to beat though, the next one being Turtonator. But somehow, some way, Drampa is faster than it naturally, and one-shots it with Dragon Pulse. Oh come on, let's have a way I can win this. Camerupt! Yes, Houndoom Destiny Bond! Holy shit, how did I win that? I was just losing Pokemon way too fast, but then Drampa outsped something manually. Awesome win. 5 first tries in a row now. Unfortunately, spoilers, it ends on Cal's last theme, Burning Pride. This one also takes something from our first fight with Cal, Rainbow Field. That first fight didn't have an Entei in it though. I start to get upset when Entei can't kill my Destiny Bonding Houndoom until it stupidly uses Extreme Speed to kill on the follow-up, thereby killing itself. Cal's usual ace Magmortar comes out to my Slowbro, who survives its Thunderbolt and Trick Rooms into Surf for a one-shot. Here comes Bennett's favorite, Volcarona, but Mawile covers it with Rock Slide. The Victory Pokemon returns, and Mawile can't stop it with 1 Sucker Punch, dying to its Blue Flare. What's horrible is that the seed that Volcarona used started a wish, and it landed on Victini now to basically restore all its HP. Aggravatingly, Surf from Slowbro isn't enough either, and she faints too. Drampa Hyper Voices it out of the way finally, which leads into Medicham. As in our last story fight with Cal, it's Mega. Talonflame though can one-shot it with Acrobatics. Cal ends with Delphox, and I fuck everything up. I leave in my full HP Talonflame while Trick Room remained. Acrobatics doesn't kill, and then my last 2 slower Pokemon both easily faint to it. Dumb misplay. A loss to Paralysis on the second attempt sees the third attempt go all the way back through the fight the exact same way until Delphox, where I put Drampa in and one-shot the Fox with boosted Dragon Pulse. We've gotten through 4 of our friends' themed team sets. Now we only have the Sajaya sisters left. We'll take on Eve's battles first, starting with technical expertise. In a factory, Eve's first Pokemon is Roserade. Houndoom incinerates it. This invites another Marshadow. This time, though, Talonflame is able to meet it, but comes so close to one-shotting it. Instead, a Thunder Punch Counter-Strike takes him down. Cleanup with Sucker Punch leads into Scissor. Mega or not Mega, Houndoom is best for it. And yes, it is Mega, bullet punching Houndoom but not killing him and dying to quad damage. But then I get something I'm annoyed to see after Talonflame died. Breloom. I know that this bastard's speed will ruin me, so I try for Trick Room, only to get spored first. Oh boy, quick wake up? Yes, had to be as fast as possible. Sadly, an easy Psychic is interrupted by Mach Punch. Vanillix takes one too and almost loses, but Blizzard's the fighting plant. The next Pokemon that Eve sends out is Mr. Mime. Mawile kills it with Iron Head. Eve, do not use a Mr. Mime ever again. But Eve then goes into a Pokemon I hate to see, Chinchino. In this fight though, I Iron Head it once and we don't have to deal with its bullshit. Oh, but we will soon. That's one first try against Eve. Let's move on to the next one. Ultra Precise Analysis. Want to know why it's called that? Well, it doesn't have anything to do with fucking Glitch Field. That's just an extra layer of awfulness. It starts with Blacephalon. It hits Houndoom with a poor Shadow Ball, which is annoying when I want to Destiny Bond. Then Eve yanks it for Pheromosa. See the reason yet? Pheromosa is still faster than Choice Scarf Houndoom and must be killed by Gale Wing's Acrobatics. It's replaced by Xurkitree. Yeah, this is the Ultra Beast team. Drampa makes little progress against Xurkitree after it did Tail Glow. That just buffed both its special attack and special defense by 3 stages. Yeah, that thing just dug in thanks to Glitchfield. Xurkitree murks Mawile easily, stands up to Talonflame's priority move, and the Clutch Master must do what he does best to finally fell it. Back to Blacephalon in Slowbro Trick Rooms, then does 2 Surfs to kill, but is pretty much done. Then we get the fattest Ultra Beast. Number 3 highest HP stat in the game, Guzzlord. And it anti-Trick Rooms Vanillix to end him. Slowbro's Blizzard hits it with weakness and does 10%. Okay, that's a problem. So like always, Mawile has a horrible moveset for Glitchfield since all of her moves turn to normal type. We change to Mega Camerupt, but lose a second time before reaching this attempt with said Camerupt up front. You want to be using physical moves on Glitchfield to overcome the stupid combined special issue. So after taking a Shadow Ball, Camerupt fires back with Earthquake to one-shot Blacephalon. Pheromosa falls to Acrobatics again, then Xurkitree comes back out. Camerupt is able to withstand one more attack barely, but it also barely tanks Earthquake to win against my Camel. It can't survive Talonflame's resisted attack again though, leading into the next Ultra Beast, Stakataka. Again, I just lost my best option to it, Camerupt, and I foolishly used Trick Room on it. This thing has a speed stat of 13! Drampa goes to war with it but fails to finish it, and when Vanillix comes out, it rests. However, with the closest of damage margins, Vanillix blows through the fortress with 3 blizzards, his hail counteracting its leftovers. Regrettably, this ate through my entire Trick Room, just as Naganadel is arriving. You know what I do? I have the Clutch Master live through a Fire Blast to nail it with Blizzard, and after 2 turns of hail, the hail stopped on that second turn. Well, that's fine. Talonflame is still at full HP, so he pryos it down, but did you forget who we haven't dealt with yet? Guzzlord. But we have one way to defeat it. Destiny Bond. Shit, it didn't kill Houndoom. But it looks like he'll live one more hit to use Destiny Bond again. No, Guzzlord's outrage ended! Please don't hit yourself! Oh, had to limp over that finish line. I don't want to see Guzzlord again. So yeah, we're going to see that fuck a lot more. That leaves one more match with Eve, Intermediation. And here it is. The first game of chess in postgame. So it begins. Masharna leads to my Camerupt, who I didn't really want up front. I forgot to change after the last fight. Worse is that Masharna pushes him to his sturdy limit in one attack, and he uses Rock Slide for barely anything. When I go to Houndoom, who is my queen currently, Masharna doesn't want to stay, and Togekiss appears. That's bad. 2 Dark Pulses only takes it down by half before Houndoom is ancient powered away. Vanillix can't outspeed in his one-shot, and Slowbro flinches off Air Slash to fail to use Trick Room. Yeah, you know what? Let's just skip ahead. So you know what the big problem in this fight is? That Masharna loves to buff up, then baton pass 15 stat stages around to other Pokemon. That's a nightmare, and it quickly propels Intermediation to the worst fight so far. I also can't roar it away to make it drop its stat stages because it gets a magic coat from its seed. On attempt 5, I have Slowbro Trick Room first, then I switch to Camera up to his taken queen position. Sadly, even with that extra power, Earthquake won't 2-shot, and Rock Slide fails to cause a flinch, leaving Camera up dethroned. Talonflame barely managed to take down the Masharna with an Acrobatics, all of its stat stages dumping out. This just brings Togekiss back out again, but this time, Trick Room helps Vanillix go first to wipe it out with Blizzard. Okay, that's better. You know what's worse? Lunala. And the box legendaries have arrived. The first 680 stat Pokemon we face in this playthrough is also one of my most hated. Simply because of Shadow Shield. Like Dragonite's Multiscale, it won't take full damage on the first attack. Houndoom would be the only one who could have a shot at beating it fast thanks to having 2 double weaknesses, but Trick Room makes Houndoom very bad. But he is saved by being my king, having the lowest HP in a non-overriding role. Because of that, he has priority and hits Lunala with Dark Pulse. There's the Shadow Shield kicking in, but it only went for Calm Mind, which means he's able to kill on the follow-up. That will probably be the best showing I have against Lunala all game. Trust me. Trick Room went home for the day, as Umbreon is next. I decide to call it back in for overtime with Slowbro, hoping that Umbreon doesn't just kill her. Fortunately, she doesn't. She actually uses a Z move, Z Celebration. Yep, there's the move that Lycos can teach you. Unfortunately, despite the friendly message, Umbreon got a Quint stats boost. I barely do any damage to Umbreon over 3 turns as it knocks Slowbro down, and the rest of my team is not prepared to fight a Dark type. Somehow though, after barely hurting it with Brave Bird, Vanillix takes the last third of its HP away with Blizzard. That was a hell of a hit. King Houndoom goes out to face Blacephalon now, and a single Dark Pulse pulls off a KO against the Fire Ghost type. The second Trick Room ends already, but Houndoom is well suited to face down Eve's ace, Espeon. One last Dark Pulse wins the battle. Intermediation having taken the most of any theme team so far. But though Eve's teams were pretty strong, her sister is about to prove herself even more. It's time to face the last present character in the nightclub, Lumi, and her first theme team, Teamwork. It's on Inverse Field. Ugh. She starts with Rabombi, who has Focus Sash and uses Sticky Web. Ugh. If I had a nickel for every time Houndoom took out a Rabombi on Inverse Field, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Now we face a Mew that won't just explode. Well, time to Trick Room for it using Slowbro, but it also popped a seed to gain a Quint stats boost, requiring a recharge. That lets me use Trick Room easily, but when I hit it with Psychic to do super effective damage, the damage is anything but super. Mew's Psychic, meanwhile, is much stronger, and I can only bring the genetic Pokemon down to a third before fainting. I thought that an Earthquake from Mega Camera-Up would do it. No. And then it uses Soft Boiled. Oh no. Vanillix goes out to hit it with Blizzard, taking a huge hit on the switch as it's Soft Boiled again. I desperately want to use Taunt or Light Screen. Alas, choice item. Once my Trick Room runs out and Mew could start running me over, I don't even try to finish this attempt. On the next try, Houndoom beats Rabombi the same way, and Mew is sighted again. I brought Heracross for it, but then I go and fuck up and use Mega Horn like this is a regular field. When I go for close combat next though, Mew decides it doesn't like its chances and baton passes to Blaziken. Wow, I hate that. A Quint boost on Blaziken is Sweep City. What I hate a lot more is when close combat leaves it on 1 HP. That defense saved it so hard. I switched to Vanillux just to have Hail definitely kill it. It was good timing too, as it went for high jump kick and gets resisted by Vanillux. I discover I didn't even need Hail damage. It dies to its own life orb. Next is Delcatty, which in inverse like any normal type, sucks to fight. It also uses a Synth Seed for 5 stat stages and a recharge. Easy Trick Room goes up, but Psychic does so little, and Surf does less after it used Cosmic Power. Then it Baton Passes as well into Glaceon. Oh fuck, here we go with another horrible type to fight on inverse. Slowbro and Glaceon trade Blizzards, mine doing little, and it's doing lots. But you know whose Blizzard is best? Vanillux's. We fortunately get rid of the Glaceon in all those stat stages. But then we come to the new rule of Reborn. Out next is a Lopunny. From now on, if a Lopunny is facing you, it's Mega. I was fully expecting it to kill me with Fake Out, because it will almost always use Fake Out. But instead, my taunt goes through and it hits with Return instead to beat Vanillux. What's helpful is that Fighting type on Mega Lopunny, as it means Houndoom comes out and one-shots it. We now get back to Mew, and Trick Room is still with us. I send out Heracross to close combat the Mew, no longer possessing all those stat increases, and we beat the first Mythical. All we have left is a battle-worn Delcatty, who can't take out Heracross with a Return and falls to close combat. That was a dicey win. All those stat stages flying around could have easily been too much to handle. Lumi, though, has more horrible teams to show us. The next one being Ametrine Blues. Here we go with Water Surface again, facing Cloyster. Well, that's a Destiny Bond. Hello, Kyogre! Would you believe it? The Sapphire Uber Legendary beat my whole team! Awesome! It's all coming back to me again. Ametrine Blues is going to make you feel blue. Mostly because of that damn Kyogre. By attempt 4, I had brought in Washing Rotom to trigger Cloyster's Focus Sash, endure a skill-linked Rock Blast, and then finish it off. Instead of Kyogre, Lumi was sending in Beartic next. That lets Slowbro go out and I don't even bother with Trick Room. I won't need it for Kyogre outside of Water Surface because he's actually pretty slow compared to me. I luckily dodge a Stone Edge from Beartic and use the super buff Surf to drown the Polar Bear. Now it is Kyogre, and in an earlier attempt, I put Vanillux out immediately. However, Vanillux is actually normally faster, which means Kyogre's Drizzle takes effect after Snow Warning, and left me with no Hail, making Blizzard inaccurate. This time I send Rotom first, finding that I can almost just beat the Kyogre with its Thunderbolt. Rotom does go down though, and instead of Vanillux, who would be outsped in Water Surface, I use Galvantula. He's able to outspeed the Legendary and beat it. Lumi has her own Rotom too, a Fridge. I use Talonflame to bash it with Flare Blitz, taking away half of its HP, and then it does something interesting. It missed Blizzard. That causes no damage to Talonflame, while still freezing Water Surface. Sadly, though I would have killed it before with another Flare Blitz, now it's weakened, and Talonflame can't kill it in time. Galvantula Bug Buzzes the Refrigerator out of order, and we are looking at a Togekiss next. Of course, I want to go for Vanillux on Icy Field, but the fucking Serene Grace Pokemon causes a flinch with Air Slash, then kills next turn with Aura Sphere. I don't want to chance that thing killing Galvantula. Houndoom goes out and throws Destiny Bond, taking an Aura Sphere, and Togekiss is dead. That left me with the last Pokemon, one that made this fight even more miserable than Kyogre did. Lapras. That fucking bastard loves both Water Surface and Icy Field, and it greatly screws with Trick Room. With raw speed though, Galvantula is faster, but he can't get the damage, as he's one-shot by Ice Beam. I only have Slowbro left, and it's pointless to waste time with Trick Room. I just need to hope Psychic is enough, but Lapras only gives me 3 turns, using Perish Song. Even if we draw, I still lose. But in the most amazing luck possible, Slowbro, though not killing with Psychic, drops Lapras' special defense, making it possible to overcome its leftovers. It was then that I thought I lost as it landed a thunder on Slowbro. She lived, but then was paralyzed. And even after all that, she still goes on to fire Psychic once more. That's insane. Slowbro was on multiple death's doors, yet she came through like a champ. I hated that fight. But we have one more awful fight to do. Bedtime stories. Can you guess where we're going this time? My third most hated field. Rotom was still up front, again not what I wanted, as I see Alolan Ninetales on Fairy Tale field. Right off the rip, Aurora Veil. Bite me. Rotom barely does anything before being freeze-dried and frozen, losing its turn. Hey, you know that thing I said about Fairy Tale field where I will literally never remember that fire moves gain a dragon secondary type? It happened again. Goodbye first attempt. Hello next attempt with Mawile. Even with Aurora Veil, a boosted Iron Head from Mega Mawile cuts through all of it to one-shot Ninetales. Time for another box legendary. Solgaleo. Man, that is a pain in the ass. Fire doesn't even do super effective damage to its steel type here. I decide to take the time now to use Trick Room, surviving one Sunsteel strike, then Brick Break the Aurora Veil. Slowbro only takes a third from the Lion as Mawile comes back. The bullshittiest move in the world beats Solgaleo to my delight, and now Mawile is heavily favored in Trick Room. Next is Goodra. Play Rough ends that dragon. Alolan Sandslash takes the field. Camerupt Lava Plumes it, wasting it despite only being single weak. Then Lumi decided to have a second 680 legendary, Xerneas. It's a damn good thing that Mawile still one-shots it with Iron Head. The last Pokemon to beat is Delphox, which I feel fine doing with Camerupt. Sadly, it had a Seed to King Shield first. It's really annoying, because this is the last turn of Trick Room. Camerupt faints, but Houndoom gets out here to Dark Pulse it, make it flinch, and finish the final theme team we currently have available. It may not have sounded like it, but I really enjoy these battles. They show everything the field effects can do. All of the strange nuances that you don't quite understand when you see them throughout the story will suddenly come clearly into focus here. Now, without any more characters left to challenge, we finally get to move on with the story. It's time to look at the top right corner of the nightclub, where we see the region anomaly map. At this time, only one spot is lit up, and a person stands to the right. Hey, why does she look the same as Casspot, who we've been talking to for theme teams? Because that's Cass, the real one. A character named after one of Reborn's chief developers. One I've mentioned a couple times before. Besides Ame, she has contributed the most to this game, simply for the fact that enemy decision making is a hell of a thing to make work well. Cass is here to finally explain what is going to happen in post-game. She says that we are going to be dealing with the influx of legendaries, using the map on the floor to mark locations of anomalies. She says that for the most part, except for whatever the report tells them, she can't guarantee what we'll find when we head to an anomaly site. The one that's flashing on the map now is centered on Van Hanen Castle. Complicating matters is that, at the site of the anomaly already, are Sarah, Anna, and Noel, and they are trapped inside. We are tasked with heading to the castle and rescuing them. Prepare your team, head outside, and once your eyes adjust to natural light after hours inside a nightclub, fly to Van Hanen Castle. When you walk inside, you won't notice anything off until you walk towards the first open door on the bottom floor and notice it on the upper floor. A doorway that looks exactly the same as the one that we walked into when we fought Lyn in the Cité Astra. You'll be seeing these doorways frequently throughout postgame, so get used to seeing them and hearing that same rushing sound. We're here again in the new world. Since we saw it fighting Lyn on two tiny rocks in space, it now appears that a landscape is beginning to form here. The new world introduces another remix that will be following you wherever you go in the new world. Ruby and Sapphire's Abandoned Ship. This is a great track to use for this eerie, brand new place. It evokes mystery and wonder, while being inherently threatening. When you take a couple steps forward wondering what you're going to do here when there's no path, that's when you meet her again. Luna! You're here? How? You were in the void. But then, what was the void? And what really is this place? She says that this is close to where we last saw her, but acknowledges that this place has changed considerably. She thanks us for stopping Lynn from overriding our world with this new one, but in the same breath, she says she is beholden to Lynn as well, for bringing this dream of Luna's into reality. After explaining like other times the true beauty of darkness and infinity, she explains what's happening here in more concrete terms. The three that we are here to save are safe, but asleep. She says we should step forward to find them now. Hop across the rocks to find a more built-up landscape ahead. Here, there is tall grass to walk in. And finally, after introducing the other three wild themes by episode 6, we introduce the last one, Glitch City's remix of Black and White's Celestial Tower. Perfectly paired with the abandoned ship theme, these two tracks are going to constantly remind you that you are walking in an alien world, one that will abide you, if you abide it. Though it won't be shown this episode, the wild Pokemon you can find in the new world are even more exotic than what we saw in Victory Road. If there was pretty much anything you missed throughout the game, then you're going to find it in post-game in the new world. As you walk further forward, Luna joins you to gush about the decadent scenes this world will be able to conjure once its painter learns its trade better. For now, it remains very basic, and she points out that this world is intertwined with our world throughout Radimus's castle. There are pieces of his castle scattered about, explaining how Sarah, Noel, and Anna got trapped here if all they did was come to the castle. She goes on to say that if there was a closed door here, there is nothing to see beyond it at the time. On the corners of this static meteor, you'll find doors marked with numbers of dots. All of them are closed at first, except for number 4. Stepping through that door leads you through a hallway with 2 exits. Only the right side one is unlocked. Up some stairs is a glowing orb of light. Touching it, Luna approaches to say that the orb would have stitched another piece of the new world to our world somewhere. In other words, one of the doors will now be open. Return to the central rock to find door number 1 now open. You enter onto a second floor overlooking a dining room below. Upon the table sleeping is Noel, beset upon by a Shiinotic. We can't reach him yet, so pass through the next door to be back in space. Take another orb from here and go back to the hub. This naturally opens door number 2. This leads into a bedroom, and we will see another Shiinotic, this time making mischief at Sarah's expense. Approach the creature and fight. You might think there can't be much to a single Shiinotic, but several things are going to slam you over the head. First, it gets to be queen for itself on chessboard, but that's not nearly the worst problem. The most noticeable thing is that this opponent formally introduces you to post-level 100 opponents. Level 104, but along with what can be seen, is something that can't be seen. The Spectre of Pulse 2 will haunt you from now on. This Shiinotic, and many other Pokemon you'll encounter in these mandatory fights coming up, will have max EVs in all stats, just like a Pulse 2. Can you handle it? Well, hopefully you can still handle one Shiinotic. Houndoom blasts it with Heat Wave, but can't kill, and it uses Spore. That makes sense, huh? With how it's putting our friends to sleep? Houndoom isn't able to wake up in time, but Vanillix can go out and do the rest of the work with Blizzard, avoiding sleep. And thus do we gain experience once again, and the level climb begins anew. With this Shiinotic defeated, Sarah now rouses from her constantly induced sleep. She's surprised to see us, but now wonders why we're here. What's strange about this room is that it isn't from Van Hanen Castle. It's Gardevoir's room from her own house. She decides to go look outside. She's then startled by Luna walking in, but she calms down when she sees it's Luna, until she remembers that Luna jumped into a black hole. Luna apologizes for leaving to the void on such short notice, but assures Sarah that she will be led safely out of the new world. The two leave, as we are presented with another orb. This opens another door to the north in the central area. That allows us to reach Knoll, and after healing Houndoom, defeat this second Shinotic the same way. Knoll awakens and states what we learned from Luna, that the castle and the new world overlapped. He tells us we shouldn't waste time on him, and he'll find the exit on his own. He leaves, one more orb comes into existence. Return now to door 4 and head down the other hallway. With your party fully healed, jump across the floating stones and find Anna. Beyond her, though, is not another Shinotic. Something far more powerful holds Anna hostage. Cresselia. Upon laying eyes on it, Luna will rejoin us, saying the others are safe. Now comes the hard part. Luna reveals that this Cresselia was made in the new world, generated, and is the source of an anomaly. Specifically, the aura around Cresselia is the anomaly, and will attract and control Pokemon to assist it. With the Pokemon within the anomaly, it's Kingpin. Defeating the anomaly will then allow the central Pokemon, in this case Cresselia, to be weakened considerably and thereby become catchable. With this understanding, we then engage the first anomaly. And finally, after this theme is played twice already, I can finally introduce the battle theme for legendary Pokemon. Sun and Moon's Lusamine battle. Yes, this series has played this music before, as it was used for Ditto Arceus and the statue Zekrom. I've been waiting to introduce it here, as it will now play for all of the legendary Pokemon battles you will be undertaking for the entire post-game. As well, you'll see that such a short time after the battle with Lyn and Arceus, we are already battling on New World again. Get ready. You will be seeing this field so often, both in these crucial battles and in nearly all New World wild encounters. Starting out against us is Lunatone, but Houndoom, still Choice Scarfed like in the theme teams, will be well suited to hit it with a boosted Dark Pulse. But you'll quickly be angered by yet another Focus Sash, and Houndoom is countered by Power Gem and defeated. I activate Trick Room with Slowbro, losing nearly half HP, and take that last hit point. But I'm going to be anti-Trick Room to hell now. Anomaly Cresselia is sending out a Moongus. Oh, that fucking thing is slow. It's even slower than Camerupt, despite having a 2-level lead. Why is it so bad? It uses Spore. And then it uses Nature Power for Spatial Rend. Remarkably, Camerupt wakes up immediately to fire a Lava Plume, but it doesn't kill the mushroom. But then somehow, apparently we had a speed tie, and Camerupt goes first and finishes off a Moongus. Okay, I'll take that, but now we get another slow Pokemon, Masharna. Oh, I had enough of you from Eve's fight. I go into Mega Mawile to Sucker Punch it out, but it isn't attacking yet. It starts with Calm Mind. What's worse is that after that, it then tries Hypnosis. I failed to change moves after it missed once, and I do nothing to it before going to sleep. I'm rewarded with another quick wake up to hurt the Masharna with Sucker Punch. Before it tries to put her back to sleep again, Mawile Iron Heads it to remove it. But Trick Room has since faded, and we have a problem. Jumpluff. I have nothing to outspeed it, so I go to Vanillix just to hopefully hit it. It also has a sleep move, Sleep Powder, and Vanillix drifts off. Then he takes both a Flying Gem powered Acrobatics and then another until he awakens to remind this Jumpluff who he is. Freeze Dry easily beats the double weak Jumpluff. Remember, Hail can't exist here, so Blizzard is severely disadvantaged. It should only be used if absolutely necessary. But now the anomaly is already sending Cresselia. I send out Slowbro to Trick Room. Here's the thing. That's not Cresselia. That's not the Cresselia. Cresselia here lunar dances. That makes it faint, and will fully heal the next Pokemon. And on New World, that also means it will get a Quint stats boost. That next Pokemon is Cresselia. Yeah, screw Species Clause. 2 Cresselias. And now this one comes out, level 105, and pops a seed as well. Now it has +2 in all stats. All it gives up is this first turn. I put up a Trick Room during the Lunar Dance turn, and now Mawile is here. Obviously Sucker Punch won't do anything to the Psychic type this turn, so she goes for Play Rough. Oh shit, that didn't do much. For some reason, I did Play Rough again instead of the boosted and super effective Sucker Punch, and Cresselia knocks out Mawile with Moonblast. I go into Camerupt, but then I'm reminded that my knowledge, or lack thereof, of legendaries in battle is going to bite me all over again. I use Tectonic Rage, forgetting that Cresselia has Levitate. Camerupt is beaten easily as I move to Drampa. Shadow Ball only takes half of Cresselia's remaining HP and he's dropped 2. I try to use Blizzard now since it seems absolutely necessary, and get bit by the Mischance. Slowbro is last, but Surf barely does anything, and Cresselia wins. These will be ridiculous fights. And this is only the first one. I now teach Slowbro Shadow Ball, and we try again. I hope for a flinch on Lunatone, but don't get it, and lose Houndoom again. I decide not to use Trick Room while Amoonguss and Musharna are up, and go to Vanillix for Amoonguss. Blizzard missed again. I hate not having Hail. Vanillix never awakens from Spore, and I go next into Camerupt. He gets the Lava Plume out first, but then goes to sleep. He takes a Spatial Rend, then awakens and burns away the fungus. Jumpluff is coming out now, and Slowbro is in a bad position to Trick Room against it. Instead, I send Drampa and decide he'll have to roll some dice. Sadly, he has to roll the Blizzard chance too instead of having Ice Beam. But he gets all of the luck, dodging Sleep Powder and nailing Blizzard. For Musharna, I use Mawile and Iron Head it hoping for a flinch, but instead Mawile is put to sleep right away. She takes one weak Dazzling Gleam before waking up and Sucker Punching for a KO. The double Cresselia is incoming, so I start Trick Room using Lunar Dance, and then start Shadow Balling with Drampa. Sadly, I get no special defense drops on it, and it returns fire to one-shot him. Slowbro takes over to Shadow Ball twice, but still no drops. A pathetic Rock Slide from Camerupt fails to get a flinch. At that low HP though, Sucker Punch should be able to do it. Well, maybe it would, but it used Moonlight. Oh fuck no, it's just like the Arceus fight again! Mawile gets to land 2 Sucker Punches back to back and it does great damage, but not enough to defeat the Cresselia. I put Swords Dance back on Mawile and Ice Beam on Drampa to make things hopefully more consistent. No flinch on Lunatone again, but Blizzard this time does hit Amoonguss and it beats him. That's really good to see. Musharna comes out now instead of Jumpluff, but though it missed its Hypnosis, 2 Iron Heads don't flinch or kill, and Mawile goes to sleep. She lasts through more Dazzling Gleams until she wakes up to Sucker Punch. Vanillix comes out to challenge Jumpluff, but is put to sleep and takes too many hits. Drampa also goes to sleep and almost suffers the same fate, but wakes up just in time to Ice Beam it away. It's time for Cresselia again, this time Trick Room, Swords Dance on the recharge turn, Sucker Punch! Ah! Great damage, but not enough. And then Mawile is crit and faints. I hope for something with Shadow Ball from Drampa, but it can't do it, and there's the Moonlight. I throw everything else at it to no avail. Putting Furium Z on Camerupt, I go again, and this time, Houndoom gets Lunatone to flinch. Nice, now he'll be here to fight Cresselia too. I land Blizzard to beat Amoonguss, and then when Musharna comes back out, I realize that Houndoom is great against it. The thing I hate about it is Choice Scarf. I also wanted to use him against Jumpluff, but he'd be unable to do both without switching. However, he's much more suited to beat Musharna, which he does with 2 Dark Pulses while only taking a third of his HP. Drampa is tapped for Jumpluff first this time, but even though he now takes the Flying Gem Acrobatics, he still hangs on through 2 of them and beats Jumpluff. Here we go against Cresselia again. But as I'm setting up Trick Room against Cresselia 1, I realize something. I don't need that here. I could use Swords Dance on this turn as well, since Sucker Punch will go first anyway. I plan to do that if I lose this attempt too. However, it isn't necessary. I go for the second Swords Dance and plan to tank one hit from Cresselia, since I saw Mawile could do it earlier. Indeed, she does live, and a Sucker Punch with 4 attack stages takes out the first Anomaly Legendary. Annoying fight with all of the sleep garbage. It makes for a very luck-based encounter. However, it's not truly over yet. Now it's become weakened, and you can catch it. This presents a very nerve-wracking problem. Catching legendaries is almost never an easy task, so imagine doing it after a major fight like that. It would be unthinkably horrible to lose the legendary catch after a hard-fought battle, which is why we get the Reborn balls from the nightclub to catch this shiny Cresselia. Unbelievable. The first legendary to catch. Shiny. Reborn ball. 1, 2, 3, done. Our battles in the New World have begun. With Cresselia captured, we now free Anna. But unlike the others, she does not awaken now. She's alive, but Luna surmises she might be having a dream too good to wake up from. Luna says she will take care of her, but before leaving, she gives us one more gift. Out of the blue, the Gather Cube. Oh, okay, we'll just get Zygarde going, huh? She asks if we will accompany her to the nightclub now. Saying yes or no does nothing special, and nothing interesting will happen by walking out yourself. So in some manner, you'll return to Obsidia. When we get back to the nightclub, you're going to find that, other than Anna, the people you just found at New Van Hanen World have joined us. But that's not all. Half of the Elite Four have arrived too. Bennett, Laura, and Heather, as well as 3 more gym leaders, Florinia, Hardy, and Aya. Florinia particularly has an inquiry for us. She says that besides the already established influx of legendary Pokemon, something else has begun being reported. Ultra Beasts. She says she has encountered one of them herself, but asks if we have too. Well, it's a good thing I obtained every single other Pokemon in Reborn so I can show her this Poipole we got. She's appreciative of our help and gives us a reward. 5 Beast Balls. These are nice, because considering we are likely to use Reborn Balls for legendaries, Ultra Beasts constitute the only Pokemon we'll need to catch normally in post-game. At this point, it would probably be a good time to stop the video. But obviously we are way shorter than the last few episodes, and we have a bunch of new friends here. They all have theme teams to battle too, so let's take on a few of them to close out the video. We'll be facing 3 more of our friends today, all of them gym leaders. The first of them being the one who just gave us the devices to catch Ultra Beasts, Florinia. She has 5 teams to work through, so let's kick it off with Reconsideration. This will be another miserable session on Inverse Field, with a Whimsicott leading off. Pretty much identical to the Rabombies in the same situation, we fire off Dark Pulse, though it pranks her out a Sunny Day first before fainting. Sawsbuck gallops out here now, and I hate grass types on Inverse. First thing I do is overwrite Sun with Hail in case there's some stupid chlorophyll thing going on, but Vanillix is otherwise not doing anything here. Then I go to Slowbro to use Trick Room, and make another mistake using Psychic when Surf would have been super effective. Sawsbuck for some reason only used Jump Kick second, knocking out Slowbro, before Mawile takes care of it with an Iron Head. Florinia's usual Tangrowth is next, and that bulky asshole doesn't die to one Earthquake from Camerupt, responding with Sludge Bomb to end him. Mawile cleans up again, then tries to take out the Leafeon that shows up, but one Play Rough only brings it down half, and Mawile is Leaf Bladed away. My last Pokemon are horribly matched to grass types on Inverse, so I switch a couple out for the next round. After we beat the Whimsicott and sack Vanillix to take away the sun like before, we Trick Room and correctly use Surf to beat Sawsbuck. Florinia wants to use Vileplume next, and I brought an old friend out to help. Zarina. Yeah, we haven't seen her in a long time. Vileplume is slower though, managing to put the sun back up in the sky, but good old Trop Kick lays out the Rafflesia. Leafeon comes out next, which definitely is using the sun, but if it has chlorophyll, that only makes it worse in Trick Room. It's too bad that Zarina can't drop kick the grass Eevee down with 2 attacks, fainting to Leaf Blades. A quick Sucker Punch KOs it, and Tangrowth is back. I try using Surf on it first, but this Vine monster has stupid defenses, tanking Surf and knocking out Slowbro. I almost kill with Iron Head, but then it drains all of Mawile's HP to go back to nearly half health. Trick Room is now gone, which benefits my last 2 Pokemon, the first being Greninja. However, his Surf still doesn't kill it, so he still has to lose a lot of HP to Sludge Bomb before finally beating the Tangrowth. The only one left is Lilligant, but I have a Hydro Vortex with its name on it. Even with Sun, this should still... Oh, come on with the Focus Sashes! Lilligant beats Greninja with Giga Drain, having now slightly more than 1 HP, but Houndoom can use Dark Pulse to safely win the battle. Now that Inverse is over, we can go back to Pokemon that are suited to fight Grass types in a standard environment. We start with Houndoom against Chestnut on grassy terrain. Oh ho! Heat Wave blazes down the Chestnut and sets the grass on fire immediately, which also activates Houndoom's Flash Fire. What proceeds from there is Florenia sending out 5 more grass starters, and Houndoom beats every single one. Serperior, Mega Sceptile, Decidueye, Meganium, and Venusaur lived the Heat Wave. But it doesn't live the burning field damage. 6 up, 6 down. Easy win. As soon as I started the next theme, called Alpine Rose, I knew immediately we'd be up on a mountain. This time we faced Florenia in doubles. Talonflame and Houndoom extremely well positioned against Decidueye and Ferrothorn. Talonflame uses Acrobatics to immediately throw the owl down the mountain, and then Houndoom uses Heat Wave and misses. I shouldn't be mad, because I just landed 6 Heat Waves in a row in the previous match to auto-sweep, but I am still mad. I get some luck my way though, when Ferrothorn uses Nature Power Rock Slide, but it misses Houndoom. Talonflame is struck though and falls. Florenia's Ace Cradily appears to my Vanillux. I want this to be a snowy mountain. Okay, now I'm actually mad! Heat Wave missed Ferrothorn again! Blizzard goes before her side can, freezing up the mountain, but achieving no KOs, as Houndoom survives the now Ice-typed Rock Slide, but then gets caught in an avalanche. Vanillux has the advantage though. Slowbro will Trick Room after Vanillux dusts both of them with another Blizzard, hopefully benefiting Vanillux's lower speed. Florenia replenishes her side with Abomasnow, and Skyform Shaman. That Abomasnow won't be upstaged though, as it Mega Evolves. Slowbro hits it with Psychic for a third, we get hit with Blizzard first for little, and then I attack back with the same move. Mega Abomasnow barely survives while the Mythical never got to act. Florenia rolls her lawnmower out here, Slowbro mind breaks the Snowman before it could attack again, and one more Blizzard trashes Rotom. Another simple first try. I knew the next fight would not be so simple though, when I read its name, Wetland Rose. That's going to mean Swamp. Swamp is a pain in the ass if you're using Trick Room. Every turn, every grounded Pokemon loses speed, so if you don't get yourself dug in, then your opponent will just anti-Trick Room you. We start against that same Ferrothorn that dodged 2 Heat Waves. It doesn't dodge a third one, but it manages to live thanks to a seed-boosted special defense. It can't kill Houndoom with Gyro Ball, and I land another Heat Wave to melt it. Ludicolo is next, but I brashly go to Vanillux right away. It can't lose speed anyway due to Swift Swim, but it also fired Hydro Vortex first, washing out Vanillux. I can easily avenge him with Talonflame, but Vanillux's Hail breaks his Gale Wings. Venusaur comes in with a Seed too, survives a Brave Bird, then Sludge Bombs my bird. Houndoom Heat Waves to kill, only for Jumpluff to show up. Now that would be nice to Trick Room against. First, I want to see if Houndoom can somehow hit it first. Nope, he couldn't. But when I try to use Slowbro for Trick Room, the Cresselia fight haunts me. Jumpluff Sleep Powders Slowbro. What's awful is that Slowbro was asleep for so long that she gets Leech Seeded and Jumpluff creates a substitute. Oh no, don't you start that shit! As soon as Slowbro wakes up to break the sub, she's put back to sleep. I quickly jump over to Camera Up to preserve Trick Room turns, who manages to take 2 acrobatics and blast it with 2 lava plumes. I have an Inferno Overdrive on standby, but the next Pokemon is Vileplume. That one is bulky, and though I didn't want to use up my reserve before Florinia's final Pokemon, I activate the Z move now. Jeez, I said bulky, but it still fucking tanked that. It's basically over when Mawile tries the Swords Dance to attempt to finish the fight, but gets put to sleep instead. Mawile is unable to do anything to the constantly regenerating Vileplume when she does finally wake up, and Slowbro never woke up at all. Blah, I hate Swamp. Just an annoying field. On the next attempt, Houndoom once again missed Ferrothorn with Heat Wave first, but avoids fainting by burning it on the second one, letting him take a second Gyro Ball to burn up the thorny Pokemon. Ludicolo came out second again, and I don't take chances. Talonflame acrobatics it, which gets a one-shot and Talonflame stays at full HP. For that thick Vileplume, Talonflame stays, but has to take a Sludge Bomb to hit it with a second acrobatics, getting poisoned. Venusaur is out here next, and I have little left to do with Talonflame. He exhausts himself taking 3/4 from Venusaur using Brave Bird. Houndoom does the rest, but then the same terrible situation happens with Jumpluff, as it puts Slowbro to sleep and starts setting up. I get luckier this time though, and wake up after Leech Seed. Man, I wish I had Ice Beam right now. A powered up Surf seems like a nice idea, but it does little, and Slowbro takes another nap. I bounce out to Vanillux right away, but Jumpluff subs up. Oh, do you think you're going to have your way with all those annoying status moves again? You stupid idiot floating wimpy cotton ball? That's what Vanillux says when he taunts it, thus shutting down almost all of its moves. Vanillux takes 1 gem-powered acrobatics, but clears Jumpluff from the air. This leads into that last Pokemon we didn't see, Roserade. Vanillux would have beaten it if it weren't for the seed making it more defensive, but after he does most of the work, Camera Up comes out to overkill the hell out of it and get us out of Shrek's house. That leaves only one left for Florinia. Performative Science. Everyone wants to be in show business. Big Top once again, and Lilligant has a focus sash. Houndoom lives through Petal Dance, but once again Heat Wave makes me want to go back to Flamethrower by missing. Mawile has to pick that up, and now we face Shaman's other form. A Grass-type user in Big Top when I have Talonflame. Sounds like a bad idea for Florinia, but after easily slashing the Shaman, I'm faced with the worst thing for a Talonflame. Czarina. Fucking Queenly Majesty. That affects all of the flying moves Talonflame would use against it. I decided to just go for Tailwind since it can't stop that one, but then Czarina uses Acrobatics back on him. Tailwinded Vanillux can take out Czarina, but now that Talonflame is gone, I badly need him for Breloom. Slowbro doesn't even get close to Trick Rooming, losing to 2 hits of Bullet Seed. An OK Mach Punch one-shots Vanillux. Bullet Seed also kills Camerupt, and when it can't appear to kill Mawile in 1 hit, it just spores her instead. Then it gets a powerful Mach Punch and does just beat her. So, Talonflame has to be saved for that. Next attempt, Houndoom once again misses out on 1 of 2 Heat Waves, and Mawile punches Lilligant. Acrobatics beats the tiny Mythical, but when Vanillux comes out for Czarina, he's way outclassed by a Helping Hand Acrobatics. Camerupt can't withstand an Acrobatics either. Slowbro is power whipped right out, and Mawile has to eat a high jump kick for exactly 3/4 to knock out the Queen with Iron Head. However, that anti-priority ability is out of the way, and full HP Talonflame should be able to attack without impediment. Tropius, wrecked. Chestnut, ripped up. And that damn Breloom, though it Mach Punches, only got OK on its Striker result, which lets Talonflame quad out the Shroom Fighter. I hate Big Top. Did you know that? We only have 2 opponents left for this episode, and they both only have 2 theme teams. The first one we'll take on is Aya, and her team, Acridity. Murkwater gets to have another appearance, with one of the best Pokemon for it, Tentacruel. Choice Scarf Houndoom, though, outspeeds despite the speed loss and Destiny Bonds easily. That gets Aya's ace out here, Dragalge. It's really bad, too. Venoshock takes out Slowbro in 1 hit. I really want to freeze the toxic water to make it easier, but Vanillux isn't allowed to. A single acrobatics doesn't kill the algae dragon, and then I finally use a decent choice in Mawile to beat it with Iron Head, though she takes a Thunderbolt. But when I see Toxapex next, where am I supposed to go with this attempt? When it starts spamming Recover, I think absolutely nowhere. I do try to go into Swords Dance, but it quickly swaps with Toxicroak, who Drain Punches Mawile, leaving me with a very badly matched Camerupt. Acridity took another attempt off me before I started with Water Rotom, who could outspeed Tentacruel and one-shot him without needing a sacrifice. For Dragalge, I go right to Mawile, but she has to eat a second Thunderbolt and just hardly live to kill it. When I see a Quillfish coming out next, really Quillfish? I use Vanillux and freeze up the poisonous water. I get worried when it's Swords Dance when I Blizzarded, getting us onto Icy Field, but Vanillux is well alive after its Waterfall to beat it. Toxicroak coming out makes me want to Trick Room now and mangle it with Psychic, but that damn thing used Sucker Punch to stop the Psychic from firing. I don't know what I want to use on it now, so I go into Rotom, who nearly kills with Thunderbolt, making me really resent that I haven't bred for a better Rotom. But it missed Gunk Shot. Sucker Punch flies at Rotom too, but it lives and takes down Toxicroak. Against Crobat though, I wouldn't have guessed, but Rotom is normally faster, so Crobat acrobatics my washer away. Vanillux can easily Blizzard that bat, but Toxapex will prove to be a pain. But I have Taunt, so when it wants to try recovering, I can stop it. I never end up needing to. Vanillux ends up nearly beating it with one Freeze Dry, and then, like the Clutch Master he is, survives full power Brine to attack a second time and win. That's half of Aya's teams. Time for the other half, Toxicity. This battle takes place on a field effect that, had it not appeared for literally 2 turns during one attempt at Corey's gym, we would have literally never seen it until now. Corrosive Field. Like I said 18 episodes ago, this is the poison version of Burning Field. I face Roserade with Washing Rotom, again only there because of the last battle. It quickly dispatches Rotom, then Houndoom pays the corrosive tax and heat waves the masked Pokemon. Aya still has that Toxapex on this team too, so I move to Vanillux. Freeze Dry gives me a lucky freeze and stolen turn, but then it auto-thaws with Scald after a second drying. Vanillux attacks a third time to beat it, but Salazzle is next. The only one that can hurt it well is Slowbro, but she can't even get Trick Room going due to Venoshock just being ridiculous on all these poison fields. I have to Destiny Bond this thing before it takes any more victims, and then I use my Pokemon who is immune to the field effect, Mawile, against Venusaur. We've got another Mega Clash, but Venusaur is faster and can hit twice first. Galvantula Revenge KOs the Mega Venusaur, but for the third time this session, Vileplume appears to be way too bulky, taking out Galvantula. Vanillux can beat it and drag this fight all the way to our last Pokemon each, but against Tentacruel, I couldn't grasp victory this time. The next round, Houndoom burns up Roserade easily, and then Toxapex happens again. It's unfortunate that I didn't think to taunt right away, because it started with Toxic Spikes, then recovered after my second Freeze Dry. Now Vanillux taunts it, cutting off another recover, and 2 more Freeze Dries makes the urchin shrivel up. Salazzle prompted me to go get out Greninja, but I made a mistake. It popped a seed that gave it a protection effect first turn. Not that it mattered, because Salazzle outsped Greninja! Houndoom once again has to give up his life to beat that lizard, and Slowbro is put up against Mega Venusaur. Holy fuck, she lived on 3 HP to Trick Room! I'm not sure if Vanillux actually low speeds Venusaur, so I use Mawile to hit it with 2 Sucker Punches and defeat it, though she's hurt. Against Vileplume though, she's put to sleep for a long time, wasting a ton of Trick Room until she awakens to take most of its HP. I banked on it using an attack since I was at low health, and it did, letting me Sucker Punch it first. That led to Tentacruel, who I was sure would just kill Mawile and I have to win with something else. Until it used Rapid Spin, and she was still alive. 2 Sucker Punches later, Aya's 2 teams are out of the way. I had a ton of trouble with Aya last time I went through the theme teams. Though I think what I should say is that all the water fields gave me hell. That leaves us with one last gym leader to face today, Sarah. Like Aya, she only has 2 teams. The first one being Noit Selfer. If you're wondering what the hell that means, go put it in front of a mirror. That wouldn't actually make it look like a word either, but it's reflection backwards. That doesn't mean we're going to see the first killing field Mirror Arena. It means we have to suffer through Inverse Field again. Fuck! Ice on Inverse is the absolute worst, and it starts with Auroras. I get no flinch from Dark Pulse as it goes for Nature Power Trick Room. Interestingly, I believe that makes it possible to Trick Room before lowest priority. Houndoom is toast, but Vanillix survives its refrigerated Hyper Voice to Blizzard back for a kill. Considering though that my only counter to Ice is now at 23 HP, I'm not liking my chances. I'm especially not liking it when Regice comes out. Wow, that's a lot of special defense. It gets even more when it seeds out a Quint boost, but remarkably, Mawile can barely range it down with 2 play roughs. Crabominable is next, but it stayed alive from Sucker Punch on a pixel to Ice Hammer Mawile into the ground. I'm given a reprieve since it had a Life Orb, so it died too. What I don't like is that Avalugg next is still slower than Slowbro, and Iron headbutts her twice to knock her out. But now Sarah's Trick Room is gone, so Galvantula can come out to shock it out of commission. Abomasnow makes another appearance, and it is Mega once again. Mega annoyingly, it survives super effective Thunderbolt to Blizzard back to take out my Spider, and Greninja has to beat it with Surf. That leaves one more, and Sarah got herself a second legendary. Articuno. Hydro Vortex, please do it. No! Yes, Blizzard missed! Oh man, that was close. Inverse is always a headache. You know what else is always a headache? Glitch Field! Digital Imaging is our last battle today, but my god is it going to destroy me. Sarah starts with a Mega Glalie, but even though it used Hyper Beam on Houndoom, he lives and scorches it with 2 Heat Waves. And that's when Sarah deploys the single worst Pokemon we'll see today. Kyurem, the Reshiram variety. I don't even get a chance to Trick Room against its Dragon Z move. Mawile is annihilated by Fusion Flare, and I cut my losses using Destiny Bond. Sarah has that Articuno again, and Galvantula can't kill with Thunderbolt. I swear the special stat merger really throws me off, because so many Pokemon take their weird stat lines and become monstrous. Paralyzing the Articuno doesn't help Galvantula as he's blown away by Blizzard. I then war with the Articuno using Vanillux, hitting neutral for 3 turns as he takes Psychics. Vanillux wins, as I'm then faced with a Pokemon that really sucks for Vanillux and Greninja. Cloyster. I thought it was making a really bad play when it Shell Smashed twice after losing half its life to Extrasensory, until I realize. Again. Glitch Field. The Shell Smash special attack boost just increased its special defense too. Greninja and Vanillux were then powerless to stop the Skill Link Icicle Spears that would rain down on them. The 3 legendaries in this battle really made this a miserable battle. I discovered that if Glalie doesn't die, it will most likely use Explosion instead of Hyper Beam. For that, I brought back an Aegislash to ignore the attack just like Julia. But the rest of Sarah's team just kept overwhelming me. It now took over as the battle with the most resets, here now on attempt 6. I start with Slowbro to coax out the explosion like I said, which Aegislash stares at like a boss. For Kyurem, I tried everything, but Trick Room is not great against her team, so I just have to give up Houndoom with Destiny Bond to beat it. By the way, if you're wondering why not absorb Devastating Drake with Mawile before, Dragon moves have no type interactions on Glitch Field. I brought in Mega Aerodactyl for this attempt, which meets Glaceon. A Glaceon who then gave up its types with a Seed. Rock Slide barely does a third before Glaceon takes down Aerodactyl. I decide I just need a Trick Room to stand in front of this evolution, but I burn a lot of it with Slowbro before beating Glaceon. Articuno comes out to finish off Slowbro as I move to Hariyama for Fake Out Close Combat, which just takes out Articuno. This brings the Regice out here, who is so hard to take down easily. I already knew that Hariyama can't survive an attack if he uses Close Combat again, but I do it anyway to bring it down over half. Thunderbolt beats Hariyama, and Trick Room ends. Aegislash tries to Giga Impact it, but I regret dearly that I didn't bother to EV train it. so Regice lives on a sliver. Zebstrika is my only one left, but even against Regice's Titanic special defense, he can beat it, leaving me against the very Pokemon I brought Zebstrika for, Cloyster. I put Electrium Z on him, so here goes Gigavolt Havoc. Oh! 1 HP! It then eats a berry to go back up by half, and then uses Icicle Spear. Wait! Please live! Please! Yes! Is Discharge enough to kill? Yes! Oh shit, that crit may have mattered. This was awful. I'm so glad this one is out of the way. Sarah makes 2 teams and uses the most horrible field effects for them. With this, 30 theme teams are out of the way. Now I want to start another new tracker. Since we completed the Field Effect Galaxy, let's start something else. It'll be pretty simple. It's a leaderboard of the 5 theme teams that have taken the most attempts. After the first 30 theme teams, the leaderboard starts out like this. Yeah, it's actually a top 7 because of a 4-way tie for 3 attempts at the bottom. We're very likely to see ties until we've taken on quite a few more of the theme teams, especially the really horrible ones. Now you've gotten the first taste of post-game, and you can see how Reborn's mechanics have now gone into overdrive. Every field effect will be used to its utmost, and deliver some of the most memorable and soul-crushing battles you've ever done. Beyond our friends' theme teams, we obviously have much more to do to stop the anomalies emerging from the new world. We only just barely became able to level up to level 105, but by defeating Cresselia, that level cap has already risen to 110. Each round of quests we undertake will unlock another tier of levels. Legendaries from across the Pokemon generations are going to come at us at a much faster rate. We will be taking trips all across Reborn now, both to find legendaries in our own world and ones in the new world.